What's the date today? What's the date today?
Wait, what? I can't hear you.
27.
What's
Okay. Numpy Python, right? So we have discussed many things in the Python library, right? So today we are going to discuss some more functions in NumPy, right? First of all, create multi-dimensional array. Import NumPy library as np, right? After that, create a multi-dimensional array with name np array. It is nothing, just an array name, right? So you can keep any other name of your array, right? So after this, np dot array, right? This is a method which we have to use to create any dimension of array, right? So we are going to create multi-dimensional array, right? We are creating 3-dimensional array. Okay, so suppose that 1, 2, 3, right? And 4, 5, 6. Okay, and now 7, 8, 9, and 3, 2, 1. You can insert any of elements here, right? So this is our multi-dimensional array which we have created in two variable and the array, right? Now I want to access one elements one by one from that array, right? This, remember that this is multi-dimensional array. What are the dimensions of that array? Can you please tell me what are the dimensions of that array? Can you please tell me?
Yes.
What are the dimensions of that array?
What?
What are the dimensions of array?
The dimension of the array.
Is this one dimension array? Is this
What?
two-dimension array? Or is this
Two-dimensional. Two-dimensional.
Are you sure about your statement? Is it two-dimensional array?
Two-dimensional.
No, it's three-dimensional array, right? So it's three-dimensional array. Three-dimensional array. We will check it after that, right? It's three-dimensional array. Now, to access multiple or to access elements from multiple dimensions, we can use loop. We can access any of element by iteration loop. Suppose we are going to apply for loop in which the I is variable and in now pass the length of that array, right? What is the length of that array? Just pass the variable or array name here. What is the array name? And array. The cycle of that loop will be up to the length of the array, right? Now,
Yes.
after this, print I, just print that variable. It will send uh, the array of elements, the array of the elements of array one by one to the variable I, right? So the output will be by writing these two statements is this first dimensional array contains two-dimensional array, right? So this is how many elements are there in the first dimensional array. If I talk about only this, how many elements are there in the first dimensional array? How many elements contain this array? This array will be has two elements in the array, right? This is
Yes.
your first element and this is your second element. By writing these two statements, we will get 1, 2, 3, right? 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is first element in the one dimensional array in the three dimensional array, and this is the second element. 7, 8, 9. See this, and after this 3, 2, 1. This is complete your output by writing this. Okay, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, so in that order, if we are using any iteration loop to access any of elements in multi-dimensional arrays, we have to use multiple iteration loop here. By writing this statement for the first loop, we'll get these two elements in the multi-dimensional array, and for further, if I want to access these elements too, right? So I will apply um, one more iteration loop for sub array, sub uh, dimensional array. So we will get after the second loop, if I write 4j in I. Okay, so print j. After this, what will happen? This will expand these two elements. Then you will get your output as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 2, 1. This is your final output. In that way, you have used two iteration loops. Suppose if you want to access these element 2, then you have to use one more iteration loop, that is uh, k, like that, 4 k I. The loop will go up to the length of j, right? So output will be print k. After writing this, the output will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that will go to further 9, sorry, uh, 7, 8, okay, 9, 3, 2, 1. The output will look like that after using these lines of code. So in every dimension, we need to apply uh, multiple iteration loop. So if we are accessing elements from the multi-dimensional array, so it is hard to access elements by using multiple iteration loop because we are repeating a same task again and again, right? What will happen? The length of the code will be increased every time they will be faced some problems by writing your code, right? So, is there any other method to access elements from multi-dimensional array? Yes, in other way we can access elements from multiple dimensions, like we can use NDITER function from that library, right? So it will send complete uh, elements in the array, right? So you can use only for I in np dot nditer, right? So after this, just pass the array name here, right? Just pass the array name here. What is your array name? This is your array name and
Mm.
the array. And now print all the elements into variable I. Just print I. Now you will get all that elements from that array. You don't need to write these a repeated line again and again, right? We can write only that statement, these two lines only, and we can get all the elements from that array. Let's do some practice on that. Okay, now I have shared my IDLE screen. So is it visible to you? Is it visible to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now create multidimensional array. Just import numpy as np, right? And after this, nv array equal np dot array, and this has some elements 1, 2, 3. I'm taking the same example here, right? 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 3, 2, 1. Now this is multi-dimensional array. Oh, sorry. Um, just write the complete name array. Now array has been created, and first of all print entire array and the array. See this. This is multi-dimensional array. And now check the dimension of that array. Print. How will you check the dimension of array? Just call the end method. What it returns? What it returns? What is it? We have checked the dimensions of that array that we have created
Yes.
here into that variable. So what
The array.
what it returns? What
What
is
is the
that?
one?
What is that? What is that number?
The number of dimensions.
Yes. What are the dimension of what is written
There's
here?
3 dimensions.
Yes, three
Yes, the
dimensions.
number of dimensions.
Yes, 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 yes. So that means it has written three the dimension of that array, right? That we have created into variable and the array. Now, uh, first of all, uh, access all elements one by one using iteration loop. How will you access? For I and just pass the array name here and the array. Now print I. So see this. This is what? This is array. Now you want to access elements further in that array. So you need to apply one more iteration loop that will go up to the length of I. That will find the that array and how many elements are there in that array. This first dimension, this dimension has two elements, right? That has the first element has one zero index position, and the has second element has one position. That is first position, right? Now that will that is two elements. Now after this print j, we will see for I. Okay, so what has it written? Just make a comment and now see this. What has it written? I have shown you in the example too. This is here, right? After this, you want to access each element too, right? Now you need to access, you need to apply one more loop that is k in j. That loop will go up to the length of j, right? The j has four elements, right? In a, in each element there are three elements, right? We will get what? All the elements here. That way you can access multiple, you can access the elements from the multiple dimensions using multiple iteration loop, right? This is the technique of multiple iteration loop, right? Now, to solve this problem, and you don't want to repeat that statement again, you just need to write only these two lines: for I n and p. Just call the NDITER method and pass the array name inside that array. What is your array name? ND array. Just pass the ND array name, ND array, and print I. So look at this. By writing these two lines, you will get all elements from the multidimensional array. No matters what are the dimensions of that array. It can be two dimension,
Okay.
it can be three dimension, four dimension, and so on, right? So see this, how this function is beneficial for us, right? So you do need to write these same statement again, right? You don't need to repeat it again, right? So just call the NDITR function, right? And you will get all the elements from the multi-dimensional. Okay, now what is next here? You want to just access the index position of the elements too, right? So
Yes.
what what you will write here? Just call the simple method that is ND enumerate, right? This is the function which returns the element with its position, right? So it has three dimensions, right? Three-dimensional array. So it will it will return all the index position of elements in the three dimensions. So if I ask, uh, suppose if I ask just see, create a multi-dimensional array. Suppose this is a array and p dot array, right? And I'm creating a three-dimensional array. One, two, three. Okay, four, five, six. In seven, eight, nine, right? And 3, 2, 1. And suppose I want to know the index position of that element. So what is the index position of that element? Can you please tell me? First, remember these lines. First bracket shows the one dimension, and the second bracket shows the second two dimension, and the third bracket shows three dimensions. So we have created three dimensions in array, right? So now I want to know the index position of that element, right? So what are the index position? Tell me.
Yes.
Can you please answer me what is the index position of that element?
The index
Remember this.
position
The, remember this. We have created
3.
three-dimension array. How we
The
calculate the
index
index
position
position in multi-dimensional array? So if I'm talking about any of dimension, so what are the, what is the dimension of that array? Three. So we will take three dimensions. Suppose that first 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 index position will be shown as one dimension. Second index position will be shown as two dimension, and third will be shown as three dimension, and so on, right? So each index position will show the dimension. So remember this, we have created three dimension array, right? Now I want to access this element here. Now tell me first, or I'm talking about one dimension array. So this dimension, how many elements this dimension contains? How many elements?
2 element.
Two elements, right? Two elements contain. One is one is this, right? One is this, and
Yes.
two is this, right? So I want to access that element. So I will pass that element has zero index position. So I'll pass zero, right? And
Yes.
if I'm talking about this, so this, how many this dimension has contained elements? How many elements contains these dimensions? Two, again two, right? One and two, right?
Oh,
One and
yes.
two,
Yes.
and one and two, right? So I'll pass again zero here, and now calculate that that index position, that dimension, how many elements contains? Tell me, how many elements are there?
3 element.
Three elements.
2
Uh,
element.
three elements,
2.
na?
3.
Three.
Yes, 3 element. Yes,
So
3.
what is the index position of that element? This has zero index position. This has one index position. This has two index position. So I'll pass just one index position, that you will get zero, two, right? Now let's do
Yes.
practical on that. This is the same array in which we want to calculate, or we want to access this element. Now print and the array, just pass the index position here, zero, zero, and one. See this. What is the answer here? Two. Is it correct? Is it correct?
Mm.
Okay.
Yes.
So now tell me the index position of that element. Note it down. Tell me the index position of that element. What is the index position of that element? Tell me,
Yes.
what is the index position of that element?
Which element?
Yes, tell me
Which element?
this.
That the index position is
Calculate the
second.
index position.
First, the index position is one.
One,
Yes.
how we will calculate in that order. You told me direct.
Yes.
You told me directly, right? So I
Yeah.
want to know the complete index position of that array, of that element. To make sure this is three-dimensional array. So we have to pass
It is.
index position for each array, right?
Yes. So the
So
index position is four. Is three and then one.
four, three, and then one.
Yes.
No, how many elements this
There's four
dimension has
elements.
contained?
Two elements.
Two elements. That is one and two. And which element uh, we want to access? This. So
The second.
this will come in. What is the index position of that array? Zero. This element has zero index position, and this element has one index position. So I will pass one here for the first
Mm.
dimension, right? And now the
Yes.
second dimension index position is again how many elements this dimension has contained.
Two
Two
elements.
two elements, one and two. So I'll pass one here. So that will come in the second element. Second element has one index position, right? And now see this. See this.
Yes.
What is the index position here? 0, 1, 2, right? So I'll pass 1 here. We will get the same output here by writing this index position. See this 1, 1. Okay, so this is now change the element of that index, right? Suppose I will get 10. Is it clear to you?
Yes.
Okay. In that way, we can calculate um, the index position of every dimension, right, in the array. In the next session, we will study about a new topic that will be pandas. right? So please, till that, do practice as much as you can, right? If you are having any problem regarding the codes or regarding that class or the previous class which we have taken in the past, right? So please ask me at any time. And if you want to access any of lecture video, right? So just drop the message in the group and I'll share accordingly, right? So till that,
Okay.
goodbye. See you in the next session. Thank you. Thank you very much.